Been a couple weeks here. Things happened, and then we had the holiday and just didn't fucking schedule accordingly. Still don't have a car, but you know what? We keep moving.
Have you cleared concussion protocol?
Yeah, I mean, so I was feeling a lot better and thought I was clear. And then yesterday, like, felt probably the best I have since then. And I ran for a half hour, thinking I was good. Got pretty dizzy. And I went to bed and woke up at like 3 a.m. and like head was just fucking pounding. So we're still not all the way there, but we're making progress. Could be worse. I don't know if it could get a lot worse than these Thanksgiving games were, but whatever.
The game killed the parlay to start off. Didn't even have to sweat out the whole day.
Yeah, Lions, I think I took them -8, and I don't know, man. This is what, 7 or 8 straight years they've lost on Thanksgiving. I don't know.
8, I think.
What's frustrating for the NFL with me is like the NBA goes like out of its way to make like crazy matchups for Christmas because they know that's like one of their biggest like viewership days, and we just play the same matchups and teams every year in the NFL. But whatever.
Packers kind of coming on though. Jordan Love looks good.
Yeah, they're starting to put it together. Jordan Love sitting on my fantasy bench is thriving, of course. But yeah, I don't know, man. He was balling. And then
fucking stomping.
Yeah, there was no trap week for the Cowboys this year. It's just fucking beat the dog shit out of the Commanders, and Dak's eating turkey in the third quarter.
I don't know. Cowboys, typical Cowboys season, it feels like.
Yeah, that's why I try not to get like too up or down, because they have won 12 regular season games. It's like 3 or 4 straight years and haven't made it past the divisional round. So this is just kind of like what they do, and I expect an epic playoff collapse coming. But I mean, I can't say they look bad.
They desperately needed Philly to lose a couple of these close ones. But they're not going to be able to go into Philadelphia and win.
No shot.
If it was at Dallas, I would like them, but there's no way. They need to get the 1 seed.
No, and I think all or a majority of their wins are against teams under 500. So
yeah,
all of them
beating the hell out. They're beating the hell out of them.
Could definitely be some fraudulency there.
Yeah, they don't have a win against a 500 team.
I don't think they've had a close win yet. I think they either got beat or won by like 20 points.
Yeah, and they also like weirdly lost to Arizona too early in the year. But whatever. They're playing well. But speaking of teams that are playing well, 49ers thinking they're all the way back.
All the way back. They're favorites this week, I think. Sure, we'll see.
Yeah, they're 3-point favorites on the road in Philly, which is kind of crazy to me.
So are the Bills.
Right. But
I don't know. It's almost like the best offensive lineman of this generation, and Deebo Samuel made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, CMC is just fucking insane. Their defense now with Chase Young too. They had 6 sacks, 3 turnovers, only gave up 13 against the Seahawks team that's been playing, relatively decent football and just went into Seattle, which is historically a tough place to play, and just smashed them. But yeah.
Game of the year. Game of the year Sunday, it sounds like.
What did the Bengals have? I didn't even fucking put it up there because the shit pissed me off.
What was it, 10?
We're so
13.
and yeah.
I
16.
literally, I called the script before the game started. I said they're gonna fucking scrape out a win against the worst team in the division.
That
They're gonna
this
fucking
should have been a
completely
blowout. There
lose
was
their minds.
some fluky bullshit happened. They should have only scored 3 points. Pittsburgh had the touchdown that didn't get called. Tomlin's dumbass didn't challenge it, but this game was not as close as the score showed. The Bengals' only touchdown was on a Jamar Chase tipped pass for a 50-yard gain. That was their only scoring drive.
Yeah, I mean they got fucking what's the kid's name in there? Browning.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit.
For sure, but I mean,
I mean,
if they can do this, I will say this: the offense looked to operate a hell of a lot smoother without Matt Canada calling plays, and they have quite a few winnable games, and of course they get to jump right back in front of the Browns, even though we just beat them 2 weeks ago. But whatever, we move.
yeah, AFC North's going to come down 18 for Baltimore.
This was I did this like half asleep, so forgive me. That was the score, 24-21. Texans are 6-5, 5-5. I think they're 6-5.
6-5.
Yeah.
I took Texans
But
money line, and that fucking kid
was a
picked up
good
crossbar.
was a good game, honestly. As much as I love CJ, I mean, pulling for the Browns in the wild card race, it was kind of necessary for Houston to drop this one. But I mean, it shows they're pretty legit because they're in game, they're in every single game, even when they play, legit defenses and teams with really good records. I don't know. Yeah, like we've kind of been saying it all year. The Jags just keep flying under the radar, and I guess we don't really know like truly who anybody is until the playoffs. But they're tough, man.
Yeah, I could definitely see him upsetting one of the top dogs.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is playing some really good ball. ETN's been playing well. Ridley had a big game. He's been kind of hit or miss, but good ball club there. This one was just, oh man.
As much as it pisses me off, Joe Amato texted me before this game, asked me like what my prediction was, and I said, Broncos blowout. Like they're not playing Matt Canada this week, they're going to get killed. And he said Broncos by 17. That's the only time I'll ever give Joe Amato credit.
It was a bad weekend to be Amato.
Yeah, he definitely made up for it with some of the nonsense he was saying, but he didn't.
Yeah, he just goes
Broncos
right back. And then
No,
I stopped pulling my punches against them because it's just fucking it's just bad, bro. That kid just
It's
ignites
easy.
my
Just
anger
tee off
issues.
on him.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But dude, it's
I said it
like,
last week. Matt Canada coach team is the only team the Browns would have beat last week. They weren't beating anybody. You're not beating anybody else with DTR at quarterback. You're not beating anybody with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Just enjoy that last win because you might not win another one.
I just like it's becoming too much to overcome. Like the fact that they still are where they are in the playoff race with everything that's gone on is like insane in its own right. But then fucking DTR gets rocked when he's, I'm not going to say he's playing amazing ball, but he was clearly starting to improve and starting to come together. He gets completely licked. Which, by the way, in the moment I was like, "Oh, that's a fucking dirty hit." I was just pissed off. It was a good football hit. He just got smoked. Cooper got drilled in the ribs. He's day to day, and then Miles. Luckily, they're saying he's day to day. He said he felt a pop in his shoulder, but didn't play a great game on Sunday. Injuries just keep adding up. I think if DTR doesn't clear protocol, we're heading for Joe Flacco starting because PJ Walker came in and just looked fucking abysmal, which I kind of predicted. As boring as that might be, I honestly think that is the scenario that gives us the best chance to win moving forward.
Easy schedule too, don't you?
We got the Rams who are starting to play better. We play in LA this week. Then we play the Jags at home, but we're probably going to lose that one. I think that we play Houston in Houston.
Oh,
that's a tough game. And then I think we wrap up with we play Chicago, which is winnable. We play Cincy, which is winnable. So they can't. I think they got to go 3-3 and they'll make the playoffs. But it's like I said, the defense will keep you around, but it's the injuries are just becoming insurmountable, man. It's fucking every week another 2-3 starters go down.
You think they'll make it with 9?
No, that's good. You got to have 10, and even that is going to be probably calling it close.
Didn't you just say they got to go 3-3 to make the playoffs?
Yeah, they have 7 wins, so that'd be
10.
10-7.
The graphics still said 6. No, never mind. I'm looking at the Broncos.
But yeah, Chiefs kind of started out shaky again, but figured it out. I don't know. You guys got anything on this one? It's just
They just keep relying on one of their no names to have a big game every week. They don't have like a go-to guy still. I mean, obviously Kelsey, but
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Rashee Rice is starting to become the number 1 receiver.
yeah, it's definitely looking
True
like
receiver, not other than Kelsey.
And Pacheco, I mean, I've had him in fantasy. He's produced all year.
Yeah.
He runs hard. He kind of reminds me of Kareem Hunt that first go around. I don't think he's necessarily as good as Kareem was, but yeah, their defense is rock solid, and if their offense can keep putting it together, they're going to be right there at the end too. And then this was, I think, undoubtedly the game of the year so far.
that's what it was.
Shootout.
Was a shootout. We'll
Down
give
by 10 twice.
Yeah, we'll give Josh Allen some credit. He played a pretty good game, but
That's probably Allen's game of the year.
it was. But at the end of the
he
day, they still found a
was
way
lights out.
to lose. I think the stat is now he's either 0-6 or 0-7 in overtimes, and that's not to say that he's been bad, but I don't know, man. The Eagles just find a way. I trust Jalen Hurts in overtime more than I trust Josh Allen, and that's just the reality of the situation. Stevens got a little upset with us in the chat this week, but like I said, it's not why they won, but I think to say that they didn't get some favorable calls
There
is
was
just
a gift from the
Bill.
refs. I will admit to that. I mean, they
Okay.
completely missed a pass interference on Debo in overtime.
Bill's dumbass fucking coach is why they lost.
Or not Debo, fucking Diggs.
I don't like McDermott's timeouts at the end were just ridiculous.
Yeah, he competes with Stefanski for some just like mind-blowing decisions there. And as annoying and as hated as Sirianni is, he's a good ball coach, man, and he fits perfectly with that team. Also,
Yeah, I mean, if he
shout
was
out
anywhere
Elliott.
else, I'd fucking hate him.
Yeah, shout out Elliott for that kick to send it into OT.
59 yards in the rain.
And then Jalen Hurts is just sitting on the bench, emotionless.
Like, yeah, I mean, he just sat there, like, just shaking his head, like, guy's always on. I think it's time to start considering Jake Elliott the best kicker in the league.
He's up
Dude
there.
just doesn't miss. He's clutch. He's just so clutch all the time.
They couldn't stop the clock. They were going to have to rush up to the line and kick the ball. And fucking McDermott calls a timeout. Lets them get their composure. I did not understand that one bit.
Nah,
Yeah.
they were already lined up. And then McDermott called a timeout. Like, to try to ice him. I mean, Elliott ran right back off the field and took another warm-up rep. I mean, they were ready for it.
Bills are just finding ways to lose. No, they pretty much have to win out.
Yeah, they got an uphill battle. Is
I
it
think I'm gonna be
is it
it.
wrong to say that the Eagles are the best team in football? I mean, obviously by record, but Jackson, you have any disagreements with that?
I definitely think the 49ers are better at full strength. I would take the Cowboys. They were playing in Dallas. But they're definitely up there.
I mean, we'll find out a lot this week, but
TBD.
Jalen Hurts has not been. It's ridiculous that he's first place MVP odds right now.
His stats are better this year than they were last year.
Yeah, and
I think that just shows
just very quietly.
And every time they need a play, he makes it. Like,
But he had what? How many yards did he have at halftime of this game?
It doesn't. They scored 37 points, and he had 5 touchdowns.
Well, he's
yeah, well, they scored 30 points in the second half in overtime. But yeah, I mean, his first half stats were pretty bad this week. I mean, it was like the same thing last week too. I mean, both games they went in halftime down 17-7. And came back out, flipped the switch, and got to work. The dude just gets the job done when he needs to get it done. I thought it was funny, like Brian Johnson was sitting there on the bench next to him right before, like when they were going into overtime. Looked like he was trying to come up with some plan for Jalen, and Jalen just like has a complete blank look on his face, like he's ignoring him. It's like, that's what you got to do with Brian Johnson. I mean, dude, he's just a bad offensive coordinator. He just sucks.
Never heard of a 10-1 team that wants a coordinator fired.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's like the same thing every single week. Especially with last week's first half and this week's first half, it's like, what is wrong with this team? This is like a completely different team than it was the week before.
Was he not their OC last year?
What's that?
Was he not their OC last year?
No, Shane Steichen was.
Matt Canada's available.
Frank Reich's available.
Yeah, a tough year for Frank Reich. Tough couple of years for Frank Reich. But,
I think we'd have to take him back. Frank Reich had some good days in Philly.
I don't understand, like, in that situation, why you don't, because, like, so you get fired as a head coach in the NFL, but, like, even if you don't go get another job, you're getting paid out whatever that contract was. So I don't know why you don't take a year to refresh. And I mean, I guess you never know when that opportunity is going to come around, but I don't know why you go to Carolina when that team was always going to be bad this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be looking for somebody to blame that show the fans that they're trying something, but I don't know. I heard there's some rumors that he wanted Stroud, but ownership wanted Bryce Young. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the owner's team. So, but yeah, this was Chargers finding another way. Talk about creative losing. I mean, they just fucking.
I don't know how their coach still has a job.
It's going on 3 years now of this is the Chargers year. Like, this is the year it's all going to come together, and they just every close game they fucking find a way to completely fuck it up.
Really need Baltimore to lose that.
Yeah, honestly,
a gauntlet coming up though. Baltimore does.
I think they're going to run away with the North though, even though their schedule is not as tougher than Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I think they're just the best team in the division. Some other games: Falcons beat the Saints, Titans beat the Panthers, Colts beat the Bucks. Kind of hang around, but I think Jonathan Taylor got announced today. He's out for another 2-3 weeks, so that could be a factor there.
Tommy DeVito with another W.
DeVito with 2 straight. Belichick and the Patriots at 2-9. Never thought I'd see the day, but I guess if you're gonna be bad, you might as well go. Just have a couple, 1 or 2 miserable seasons, and at least get something out of it. So,
Falcons worst to first. Called that one.
Yeah, Falcons, are they winning their division at 5-6?
Yes, they are.
That shit's so annoying. Rams starting to heat up right before the fucking dinged up Browns and Flacco come into town. And then the Bears. I hate to say it. I hate to say it about. It's been a great story for Josh Dobbs, but he had a couple moments and for a couple weeks, but like he is what he is. He's been a second, third string quarterback the entire time he's in the NFL. And once there's tape out on him and people figuring, what did he throw? 3, 4 picks or just kept turning the ball over?
Yeah, 3, I think.
So
4 field goals.
People that are like, well, if the Browns kept Dobbs, like, who knows what would have happened? He is what he is. All right, current AFC standings. So we got Pittsburgh sitting in 5th. Browns sitting in 6th. We have the tiebreaker over Indy. We play Houston. So we have an opportunity to kind of control that tiebreaker. I think Denver and Houston play this week, so I'm kind of hoping Houston wins that because obviously we just lost to Denver, so we don't got that. But I think even with a loss, the lowest we can go is 7th this week. And then Buffalo and those other teams are kind of still sniffing around, but it's going to be close. This is why I think it's going to have to be 10 wins as opposed to 9 to sneak into the playoffs here. then we got the NFC. Yep, the Falcons are leading their division at fucking 5-6. And that's also almost a playoff
Dallas would
spot.
have to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And then 5-6 is like the in the hunt number in the NFC. So that just kind of shows you the difference between conferences right now. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Green Bay, with how they've been playing, kind of overtake Minnesota for that last spot. And
or the Rams.
As much as I hate to say it, the Rams seem to be turning it around here, so they could find a way to sneak into. Wouldn't be too worried about New Orleans. They're not a great team.
And Seattle's kind of on a skid here lately too, especially if they're missing Kenneth Walker. That's not good for them.
Yep. All right, let's get into this week's games. Speaking of the Seahawks, they go to Dallas Thursday.
Rough.
Yeah, rough schedule for them here, but that's actually all things considered, that's a pretty decent Thursday night game, which is seems to be a rarity these days. Man. What is the status of What's the status of Walker? That's a question.
I think he's still out.
Damn. So that was certainly a factor on Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's out. Yeah, it's hard to not take Dallas here in that situation.
It's a Dallas alternate spread of -12. Dallas doesn't win close games. They just blow teams out. They either lose or they blow teams out. They haven't beat a team with a winning record yet.
Conversation soon.
I mean, the numbers have been there, but early Sunday, what do we got? Colts Titans. Colts should win that even without JT. Chargers Pats, don't care. Lions Saints. Lions should bounce back there. Falcons Jets.
Why are they only 3-point favorite?
I don't know. Are the Jets sticking with who played quarterback? Tim Boyle.
I believe so.
That's a stinky line. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know. That could be one of those weird games that the Jets scrape out there. But I don't know. I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back this year, especially with how the team's playing. They're going to kind of be out of the hunt. Oh, that's another team the Browns get to play late in the year.
You said Christmas.
Yeah, I think
for Christmas.
Yeah, by Christmas they're out of it. So, of course, the Steelers get to play the mighty Cardinals. So I'm sure we're going to see another decent offensive production game, and we're all going to lose our minds. What'd you say?
Going to be one game back after.
We're certainly going to not overreact to beating the Cardinals, are we?
I mean, they still play the. Let's see here. They still play the Cardinals, the Patriots, the Colts, and the Bengals again.
Yeah, Jesus.
We got a path to 11 wins. Winning the North.
Yeah, it's wild. But just keep in mind before Kenny maybe throws 2 touchdowns this week that I think Deshaun threw 4 and looked like fucking prime Deshaun, but then we realized that it was the Cardinals. So just bear that in mind.
The Ravens still have the Jaguars, 49ers, and Dolphins to play for Week 18 against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it could come down to that last week. We got the Dolphins going to Washington. They should fucking mop them. By the way, they are the in-season Hard Knocks team. Pretty fucking entertaining. pretty fucking entertaining team
I
with
don't want.
Tyreek Tua showing his personality, and their fucking head coach is just a goofy ass dude.
Goober.
To be honest, yeah, he's a goober, but
Mike McGoober.
he knows how to dial up plays. I'll tell you that. Broncos Texans. This is probably the best game in this early window. Like I said, I fucking hate being in the position where we're rooting for other teams, so we have the tiebreaker for the wild card, but that's the reality of where the Browns are at, so kind of need the Texans to pull that one out. They are favorites at home, but the Broncos are playing good ball, believe it or not. I think they won 5 straight.
The hottest team in football.
All right, late Sunday, Panthers, Bucks, don't care.
No.
Browns are 3.5-point road favorites in LA.
Ugh.
The Browns are favorites or the Rams are favorites?
They're dogs. That's what I meant to say. Rams are favored.
I was going to say.
If they could find a way to scrape that one out, we'll be sitting nice. But morale is very low.
Joe Flacco fresh off the couch.
I hate late Sunday games because they're fucking just like 8 p.m. pissed off. You don't even have like the second slate of games to get over it. And then
eats up the rest of your afternoon.
Game of the day by far. Got the Niners going to Philly, and they are 3-point favorites on the road, which is very interesting.
I love it.
I don't know how do you not, just for the value, take Eagles money line this week? It's a tough team to beat at home. I think that'll be a hell of a game. I don't think San Francisco covers 3 on the road.
Revenge game for San Francisco, dude. All the talk about the quarterback getting hurt, they get to prove it.
We shall see.
Round 6 of the 8-round gauntlet. We have yet to lose. Beat the Dolphins, beat the Commies, beat the Cowboys, beat the Chiefs, beat the Bills.
That's what I'm saying. Keep on rolling. Dude. Like they just win games. And it doesn't matter who they're playing, but it's a banger. This game has gotten a little more interesting with how Green Bay's been playing the past couple weeks. It's in Green Bay, but they are 6.5-point dogs at home. I might like Green Bay plus 6.5 here, boys.
Yeah, the Chiefs still just cannot get it together completely. They win, but they're just not.
Yeah, they'll win. I don't know if they win by a touchdown, though. Of course, we get to hear Collinsworth just absolutely gobble up Mahomes all night.
Just insane. The Chiefs are having their worst year in a while, and Joe Burrow goes down, and the Bills can't do anything right.
Yeah,
like if this was a year for the this was the year for the Bills.
Yeah, there's not like a team in the AFC that's head and shoulders above everybody else like there has been in years past.
How's it feel that the Ravens are the Chiefs' biggest competition right now?
Yeah, I do keep forgetting about the Ravens.
I mean, Stevens,
something in the playoffs.
Stevens, let me ask you if you had 2 of the Eagles' starting linemen out, and then Swift and Jalen Hurts were done for the year, do you think the outlook for the Eagles season looks a little different?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
okay, so I just
we
want people
we
to
were
like
without
understand.
Lane Johnson this week, so and
I just want people to understand the situation. Like the reality of the Browns situation is it's just It's trying to get the most out of what the fuck you have left. What are you shaking your head at?
It's just ridiculous. The excuses comparing Deshaun Watson to Jalen Hurts.
I wasn't comparing them one-to-one.
It wasn't comparing it.
Steelers won 9 games with Duck Hodges. I don't want to hear it.
Forgot that guy existed.
I don't want to hear it.
Fucking Devlin Hodges.
You know, I texted Jackson after the Browns beat the Steelers in Cleveland, and I said, you know what's crazy? Duck Hodges wins that game.
Duck Hodges
because Kenny... No, that was Kenny's worst game, I think, of his entire career.
It was. It followed up by his best one by far last week.
No tuds, though. He's allergic to him.
It's Deontay Johnson's stupid fault. He caught it, but he still should have.
Oh, my Lord. Deontay Johnson. What was he doing?
Oh, after the fumble?
No, that was the whole play.
He didn't try the whole play.
I mean, as soon as this ball was snapped, he just stood up. Like, he didn't even move.
Yeah.
And then they lost the ball, and he's just like, all right, there it goes.
Steelers have a thing for Steelers have a thing for diva receivers.
I'm just glad this new OC finally realized what a weapon Pat Freiermuth is.
And then, fortunately,
-8. Holy shit!
Unfortunately, another game that probably would have been a pretty good one.
Browning's bad.
Lost to the fact that Joe Burrow's out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I wish that Eagles-Niners game was prime time.
I miss Nick Chubb, dude. Not that Stefanski would use him right anyways, because our running back's been playing good, and he just fucking ignores them and runs a double reverse with our slot receivers.
So you guys are still running the ball fine.
Yeah, they don't stick to it.
Also, don't look now, but Pittsburgh has the best rushing attack in the NFL over the last 8 weeks.
Not moved. All right.
Nah, here you go. Here's a Brian Johnson idiot move. We have DeAndre Swift, but pretty much the entire first half, they were platooning Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott. And Swift just stood there on the sideline. What the fuck are we doing? That's the shit I'm talking about. I mean, Swift got all the carries in the second half and clearly made a difference.
Yeah. NFL coaches be doing shit like that sometimes.
A lot of mouths to feed in Philly.
Yeah, it's fucking AJ Brown doesn't have the craziest week, but then Devontae Smith goes and has 100 yards. That guy's a fucking freak too. Did you put him on pretty much any other team and he's wide receiver 1?
Oh yeah. I mean, we've got the best one too.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
I mean,
all right.
Tyreek and Waddle, they're up there, and Debo and Ayuk, they're up there too. But I think AJ and Smitty are surefire number 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say Waddle because Tyreek's just so next level fucking unstoppable.
Yeah. It's almost like
he has 1,200 yards already, bro.
If you compare Waddle and Tyreek, it's like Tyreek is a number 1, and then Waddle is a number 3. Just the stats that Tyreek puts up.
He has 1,200 fucking yards, dude.
Yeah, that dude can got a chance to hit 2,000 this year
with Tua, by the way. But yeah, dude, if you have HBO, give Hard Knocks a look. It's pretty interesting. But I think that's gonna do it.